Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. What if I told you that there was a major XRP influencer with over 85,000 followers who is confused about Ripple's escrowed XRP and the nature of it, what it means, and the fact that it happens, a release of escrow happens every single month like clockwork? What if I told you there was such a person with such a massive following that doesn't know this? Would you believe such a human exists? Well, he does. And hundreds of thousands of people are seeing his nonsense on social media, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, truthfully, does he actually know? Yes. But what's he doing? Something, he's up to no good. I will show you exactly what's going on here. I think it's like it's a public service at this point. I feel like it's the right thing to do is to highlight this, frankly. That's how I feel at this point, because it's not about just being wrong about something. It's about a sustained pattern of misleading hundreds of thousands, if not ultimately millions of people, having to do with the topic of XRP. And it really is sustained for like a really prolonged period of time, and just consistently the most hypey, nonsense-sounding stuff. I mean, geez, I understand, like, he wants to grab attention, but you don't do it at the expense of lying. If you want to sound exciting, but don't do it at the expense of misleading people. Is that too much to ask? Apparently. Then there's this headline from the Crypto Basic. Crypto lawyer sees Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin at $100,000. I wanted to talk about this because, first of all, it's just interesting. I always find this to be an interesting topic, and just I appreciate and admire the conviction here in terms of consistently purchasing, in this case, Bitcoin, because it's like the mentality, it's in line with what and I'm sure many of you think in terms of just our convictions, right? Even if you're not excited about Bitcoin, and I'm not really, I hold a bunch of it, but I know. But there's that, and then also I want to share with you what Attorney John Deaton had to say about this. And then I'll wrap up the video with part of this article because it's just interesting, because I haven't talked about SBF, that cucumber-loving son of a bitch. I haven't talked about him in a while. But here's a headline from Crypto News. New details emerge about SBF's life in prison. No cucumbers up in there, are there, son? But before going further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right. Edo Farina, let's talk about this. This guy has over 85,000 followers on social media platform X. If he was just making a mistake here or there, hey, we're only human. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we all make mistakes. That would be one thing. But what if every single day, literally, there were multiple posts that go beyond just sounding exciting and hypey, but are actual outright lies intended to be misunderstood or misrepresenting reality? I mean, what if he's posting stuff about, the Fed buying back XRP, which he did today, by the way. I'll highlight that one as well. The Fed buying back XRP. He's misleading people in the realm of finance. If it's one thing if it's a mistake. We all make mistakes. It's sustained. It's multiple times per day. And with that big of a following, I'd feel, at this point, I feel wrong if I'm not pushing back against this stuff. Because he's tricking people in our community. No, I'm not going to stand for that. And to the people that say, why are you bringing attention to someone like that? You're just giving them a bigger platform. Shut the hell up with that nonsense. You shut the hell up with that. That's the most weak approach you could have. Okay, so this person's outright just lying to people in our community. Hundreds of thousands of people, bare minimum, on a daily basis, and we should just let them run free. There should be no recourse. There should be no criticism whatsoever. Because then we're platforming them. No, he's growing and growing and growing. Protect people that are listening by letting them know, hey, this guy's up to no good here. And I presume, I can only speculate here, that it has something to do with the more views you get on X, the more money you get. He's got a blue check mark. He's getting paid. He's getting paid for this. And so here you have a post. This is one from yesterday. And I'm just going to highlight two. One from yesterday, one from today. There's multiples per day. I kid you not. And it's all along the same lines. And I have never seen in our community somebody infringe the way that he is, just on common decency and truth. I've never seen anyone do this. Not to this degree. And so yesterday he wrote here, breaking. After the SEC closed door meeting today, Ripple is unlocking huge amounts of XRP from Escrow. And then he shared a whale alert, which does show 500 million XRP being released from Escrow. And I said, I made a video talking about the closed door thing yesterday, and I said, look, this looks like a bunch of hypey stuff. I said that there's, even if the SEC is talking about Ripple, okay, it's fine to presume maybe there could be discussed there. There's no reason to think that this would lead to settlement, and even if it is going to lead to settlement somehow, it's not that we'd have news on this today. Don't expect anything. And I think that that's the truth. It sounds more boring than what he's putting out here, because what he's putting out here, that's a lot more exciting than what I just made a video about yesterday, right? What if I made a video yesterday, I was like, yo, bro, hey, we got Ripple. They're unlocking a bunch of XRP here, and it's at the same time as the settlement stuff with the SEC. Oh, that's my best Randy Marsh right there. That's like what I'm thinking of as this guy enters my brain. Like, what? Are you freaking kidding? Why are you linking these two things? So I responded to him and I wrote, dude, escrow release happens every month. This is scheduled. Why mention the SEC meeting in the same breath? It's unquestionably unrelated, and you help no one by insinuating they may somehow be connected. That's what I wrote, because it's the truth. And this thing got seen, it's published on X, that post from him, and this is just one, he does multiple of these per day. This is why he's getting such a big following so quickly, because it's so exciting, he's got all the exciting stuff. 219,000 views. 219,000 views. That is insane. He is dwarfing the amount of views that the typical XRP community member gets because of the misleading stuff he's putting out there. This is not normal. This is definitely not normal. And by the way, 1 billion is released per month, as I'm sure all of you know. One piece of information that I don't think everybody does necessarily know because it gets into the minutia. It actually used to be the case years ago that there was 1 billion XRP in one escrow, and then that 1 billion would get released all at once. But for years, I can't remember exactly how long. I'd have to go back and look. It doesn't really matter. But in recent years, it's been the case that there's, yes, 1 billion released from escrow, but from two separate accounts. Two separate escrow releases. One's 500 million XRP, and the second one also 500 million. That's what. So if you're wondering why it says 500 million here instead of a billion, that's the reason why. And I'm not sure how many people are aware of that. But here he goes linking the two together. Why? It makes no damn sense. And you know what he did? He went ahead and hid my reply. So people can't even see my response. Here you can see, this is my response. And he wrote this, and it says here, this reply was hidden by the original post author. So and you do that. If you're the original post author, you can hide any reply that you don't like. And so he didn't like my reply. He doesn't want people to see it. He doesn't want the truth. So he just hides it. It's not in his interest. It's in your interest and everybody else's in the XRP community to know that he's up to no good. It's not in his interest, though, right? And then there's this one. And this one's more offensive in my opinion. And this one's from today. And again, these are just two quick examples. You can just go down his damn timeline and find all the ridiculous nonsense he's regularly posting for his benefit, getting the views to get paid by X. So this one's from today. And he wrote, according to Google, quote, the Federal Reserve plans to take ownership of XRP as a global payment solution, end quote. It also reports Ripple is buying back XRP as part of their buyback program to, quote, take it of from retail hands and into institutional hands, end quote. And so this is not literally not true. He typed in a Google search. That doesn't mean that Google says that's the case. That means he typed in something into Google, it yielded results from a search, which links to a page on the internet, which is not Google. So it's not according to Google, it's according to a result from a Google search. That's the closest you can get there. This is nonsense, obviously. The Federal Reserve is buying back XRP. So let's dig into this. I saw that and I'm like, here he goes again. Here goes Eddie again. Little Edo Farina going at it again, trying to mislead people. And this one was earlier today, so it doesn't have as many views yet, but it probably will. 80,000 views so far. So I responded to that one. And I'm just, the amount of audible sighs and face palms and eye rolls coming from me cannot be overstated. Cannot be overstated. So I wrote to him and I said, holy S-word, Edo, have you no shame? This and what this is true. What he linked here, and I'll show you the screen. This is the screen grab from his Google search here. I Google searched the exact same term and that popped up. It's from a fake news article, which references a YouTube video from 5 months ago. Check this out. So I wrote the following. This is a fake news article which highlights a 5-month-old YouTube video from Crypto Geek News as the core topic. In the video, which I know you didn't watch, Crypto Geek says the Fed will not be buying back XRP. Again, not be buying back XRP. This article just linked to his video and said a bunch of made-up S-word that was only loosely based on the subject of the video. They were using the video as an authoritative source to gain credibility, then lied about the content of the video. You are clearly engagement farming, which I wouldn't give an S-word about if you were covering something mundane like pop culture. But you are misleading people in the XRP community on a regular basis. You do this more than anyone else I'm aware of in the community. I don't care how much X pays you for the views. Knock it off. And what do you think he did to that? Do you think that he engaged, or do you think he took down the false information once I informed him that it was actually a fake news article and that they were completely misrepresenting what was in the YouTube video that was referenced in there? Do you think he took it down, or do you think he kept it? It's up because I'm recording this video right now and you can see that the post is right there with over 80,000 views. 83,000 views. Well, it says 83,000 views now. Unfreaking real. And so he did what he did in the last time. He hid my comment again. I don't know if I... Oh, do I have it here? Yeah, here's mine. This one's mine. So the one I just read to you, that's it, except for says, this reply was hidden by the original post owner. He doesn't want you to see what I wrote. But it gets worse than that. A bunch of people were agreeing with me and critiquing him. It was just this big list of people that seeing that obviously they could see through him. There are a lot of people that can see through him. Now, the casual observer, they may not catch on. And so it's not like everybody's stupid and that's why they're following him. I'm not claiming that. They're being tricked. They're being lied to. And to the casual observer, they may not be aware of this stuff. They could think that there's something to this. And they're trusting him. So here, you know what he did when he saw that there are a bunch of people pushing back against him? He just made it impossible to reply to the post. Here, I'll show you. So right here. There you go. Who can reply? Accounts at Edward_Farina follows or mentioned can reply. So now nobody can reply. Nobody can critique him. So what did I do? I reposted that and highlighted it with a screen grab right here pointing that he did that. Because he's just so disingenuous and so slimy. He is not interested in the truth. He wants to mislead intentionally all of you. That is what he wants to do. And he's been doing this consistently. So I wrote the following with this screen grab. After being critiqued by multiple people, including me, for spreading fake news about XRP, rather than remove the fake news, Edward Farina has decided to remove the ability for people to reply to his post. Problem solved! No more criticism! No more truth! Hooray! 85,000 people follow him, with each follower indicating a vote of trust in him. But he is engagement farming, spreading misinformation and lies at the expense of the XRP community, constantly. This is not a one-off mistake. I believe it would be wrong of me to ignore this, so I'm saying something. So you all can do what you want with that, but since I have a platform that is reasonably large within the XRP community, I think it's fair to say, and I very genuinely appreciate all the support. And since I am interested in truth and honesty and transparency, since I do value those things, and since I do have integrity, I thought it would be the right thing to share this with you. Because again, it's not about a difference of opinion. It's not about a one-off mistake. It's about every single day, multiple posts misleading the community. That I've never seen anything like this. Not to this degree. Not to this degree. This is absurd. And what do you think the incentive is? And why is he shutting me down rather than engaging in conversation? If I'm wrong, why is he blocking this stuff? Because he just wants to keep it going. It's a gravy train. He's making money from X. He's literally getting paid to lie to all of you. And I consider the community aspect of the XRP community, I genuinely value. It's a real thing. And I've made real friends here. I know you guys are on the internet, but I've made real friends here. And I value this tremendously. It's a substantial part of my life. And so to see somebody taking advantage of the people in this community, which I genuinely value, disgusts me. And it angers me. Really burns my vegetables, sons. I can't even think of my own damn stupid lines. Burns my vegetables. It steams my vegetables, man. It steams my vegetables. That's how steamed up my vegetables are, man. I don't even know my own stupid lines. Damn it. Frickin' Edo Farina. So anyway, now you know. And knowledge is power. I'll shift gears now. Crypto lawyer sees Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin at $100,000. Now look, whatever you think of Michael Saylor, Bitcoin maximalist, says crap about XRP. Oh, it's a security. He was found to be wrong, obviously, but Michael Saylor did say that XRP, oh yeah, it's a security. Yeah, the asset itself is security. Well, he's a maximalist. He's got heavy Bitcoin bags, let's say, but still, despite that, and I hate the toxicity that maximalism breeds, despite that, I admire the conviction. I do admire the conviction that Michael Saylor has and his belief that it's Bitcoin is the one and only. And so he's acting accordingly. And so, for better or worse, it is what it is. And you know, look, he could be right. Maybe purely because Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency. Maybe it's just number one forever. And he ends up being like the wealthiest human on the planet. Taking out, who's the wealthiest man? Is it Elon Musk now? He could just be number one. And I understand that it's MicroStrategy, but still. So that it could be he could still be the wealthiest, because he has Bitcoin too, obviously. And MicroStrategy could be the most valuable company on the planet. Okay, super duper. If he's right, and maybe, but see, that's the thing. When it comes to Bitcoin, if it stays number one forever, I mean, considering it's literally the worst blockchain technology that exists, because it's the first, right? If it does, it's because humans don't care, because first mover advantage is that crucial, and there are enough people that just want to use it as a store of value, and maybe, and if it really lasts, then we do have layer 2 solutions that get adopted and it gets used for other stuff. Because outside of that, it's kind of hard to believe it would always be number one in market cap. But there is a solution, using the XRP ledger, for example, as though it were a layer 2 technology with spin the bits. So maybe that gets broadly adopted, and there you go. You can actually spin Bitcoin just as quickly as you can spin XRP then, honestly. So there are ways that, Bitcoin could continue to be propped up and be number one, but it's just fat. So he could be right. He could, in theory, be right. Now, of course, there's way more opportunity in XRP today, even if he's right, because there's way less money in XRP. So to get a multiplier effect and life-changing, yeah, way better to be in XRP, in my humble opinion here. But take a look at this. And this is from yesterday. Bitcoin for Christmas. MicroStrategy buys another 600 million. Business intelligence firm MicroStrategy purchased 16,130 Bitcoin in November, bringing its total holdings to more than $6 billion. In a November 30th announcement, MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor said the company acquired the Bitcoin for roughly $593.3 million, a price of $36,785 per Bitcoin. As of November 29th, MicroStrategy reported it held 174,530 Bitcoin, worth roughly $6.6 billion at the time of publication, at a price of $37,726. Yeah, so it would be even more than that at the time I'm recording this. And so Michael Saylor, he shared that post on social media platform X. And note that anybody can reply to this, because he didn't pull an Edo Farina and then make it so that nobody could reply to it unless he's following them, because he's not lying about XRP. He's just talking about something completely different, so we don't have to worry about that here. So if you want to reply to Michael Saylor, just want to point out, you can do that. You can do that, because Michael Saylor, at this moment anyway, not lying about XRP. So that's fantastic. Now, Attorney John Deaton reposted that and said the following: "Let it be known, let it be written. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy will 100% buy your Bitcoin from you, whether at $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. This dude does not worry about at what price he buys. Does anyone have any doubt that Saylor will buy more Bitcoin at $100,000? Say what you will about him, and I've challenged and disagreed with his everything except Bitcoin meets the Howey test comments, but it must be comforting to him to have the level of conviction that he does. He believes in his soul that Bitcoin will hit $1 million. So buying Bitcoin even at $100,000 is a steal. And so, folks, that's what I'm talking about. And I have that level of conviction when it comes certainly to crypto broadly speaking, but specifically with XRP. I sleep like a baby every night. Holding XRP for over 6 years, my conviction has never been stronger. My conviction is much stronger today than it was when I jumped into crypto. Certainly. And obviously it helps that there's legal clarity for it now, but even outside of that, my conviction level, even if you go back to like June before the legal clarity, my conviction this year in June was higher than it was years ago. As you can see, the adoption and everything, you guys know the stuff. So, all that to say, if somebody has that about something, like I admire, whether he's right or wrong, I admire the approach, because that is what it takes when it comes to investing, to look at everyone in the face, that says you're wrong and say, no, actually, you're wrong. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Because most people do not just accept that crypto is the way. Like XRP is going to be, it's going to be the one. Or I don't literally mean one of the ones, but one of many that ends up finding broad adoption. Because if we were there, it would be too late in terms of investing. So no, we got plenty of time left, I'll say that. So how about everyone's favorite cucumber-loving son of a bitch, Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF? Here's a headline from Crypto News. New details emerge about SBF's life in prison. Talking to crypto content creator Tiffany Fong, former inmate Gene Borrello claimed the FTX founder was at one point on suicide watch and did not eat or shower for several days. Borrello and Bankman-Fried were housed alongside each other at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn as the FTX founder awaited the chance to present his case. Borrello claims a fellow inmate attempted to extort the timid Bankman-Fried by suggesting he pay a fellow inmate for protection, claiming they knew he had a lot of money. And by the way, folks, I'm not so sure that he does at this point. Even if he does, it's not actually his. I mean, I think we all know that. But unless he's sufficiently hiding it somewhere, which could be possible, I don't know. I haven't seen anything on that. If so, maybe I just missed it. But I don't know that he does. Seriously, am I just if anybody knows, if I'm just missing something, which could be the case, tell me. My understanding is that he was pretty much out of just about everything. And I do recall, and this is just from him, so that doesn't mean it's worth anything, but before he got arrested, he was claiming that he only had like $100,000 left or something like that after, allegedly being worth how many billions was he worth? So to go from that to allegedly having only $100,000 is what it is. And then they write, subsequently, Borrello confronted the prisoner in Bankman-Fried's defense, leading to a physical altercation that caused Borrello to spend time in solitary confinement. And so this is just the beginning, so he's got a lot to look forward to. I told you, generally, the justice system works. It's not perfect. There is injustice at times, I get that. But in the United States, it typically does work fairly well. He's behind bars, and he's going to be there in all likelihood for decades. We'll know within the next few months or so. But, and upwards, it could be over 100 years behind bars. He's actually looking at that potentially. And I'm not convinced he'd get quite that. But he's already, I think, his early 30s. So what if he gets another 30, 40, 50, 60 years? Like, his life's toast. Let's be real. Like, he's going to lose all of these years. Maybe never get out from behind bars. Which really, he destroyed so many lives. Like, I'm not sympathetic to him whatsoever. Like, he's just a terrible creature. But that's the latest update. He's not off to a good start, and it's probably going to get worse for him. Cry, cry. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.